7.7 FM as we bring you more beyond the news. The Discourse, where conversation drives change.
A wonderful Saturday morning to you wherever it is you're listening to us from. This is omoluwabi 87.7 FM, and the program you are listening to at this hour is The Discourse right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM. My name is Oluwatayo Ajewole, standing in for Stephen Adedigba, who is absent today on the show. I will do it on the show every Saturday from the hours of 9 a.m. till around 10 a.m. We bring some of the major national issues to the front burner, and then we talk about them on the show. That's basically what we do on the show. And this Saturday is not going to be a different one because we are set and ready to do just what we usually would do on the show every Saturday right here on your favorite dial, omoluwabi 87.7 FM. So I will urge you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show this morning because it promises to be an interesting and educative one this morning. It's a full-pack program, and then I can only urge you to just stay glued to your radio set this morning because we'll be discussing a lot this morning as regards some of the salient national issues. It's election day in Ondo State. Yeah, we're talking about that much later during the course of the program. And then what's your takes? I could, from before I came on board this morning, I could get some feelers. Election have started in Ondo State already, and people are trooping out to cast their vote. I could see, as it is now, I can see from my screen that people are casting their vote already in Ondo State. Election have started, and then it's kind of a peaceful one, so to speak, this hour. And then we just hope that it gets peaceful to the end of the election, and then the winner will be declared, and there won't be any form of rancor or the other at the end of the day. So, a lot of things to be discussed on the show this morning. So I would urge you, like I said, to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show because it promises to be an interesting and exciting one. Do not forget that we are streaming live on Facebook this morning at omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM is the Facebook handle this morning. Go watch us live and drop your comments on Facebook this morning. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM is the handle on Facebook. You can go watch us live there and drop your comments. We want to hear from you. We want to listen to your own views and your own opinions as regards some of the things we'll be discussing on the show. Like I will always say, it's a national discourse, a national conversation, and then it's not I will always say, it's not something that we just leave to some set of people to talk about alone. It's all about us having a conversation around all of this. So this morning I urge you to contribute on the program. Let's have your share. Let us have your take on some of the things we'll be discussing because it's a journey towards national development, and then we can't just contribute our own quota to nation building this morning. So once again, I will urge you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the program this morning. This is still The Discourse right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM. right, like I told you earlier, it's going to be a full-packed program this morning, and then we're going to be discussing something very important, something very salient this morning. Many have been saying we have 3 tiers of government, and all of these tiers of government should be independent from each one another. But then something happened recently, and that's what we'll be discussing on the show this morning. The Minister of the FCT allocating houses to judges in the Federal Capital Territory. This has sparked a lot of reaction in the country, and many have been reacting. But then the minister came on board to clarify issues and said he's trying to justify the reasons why he did that. And then according to him, that's the Minister of the FCT, here some wiki, he said the construction of houses for judges was not his policy, but part of welfare packages President Bola Tinubu designed for judges to promote the independence of the judiciary. Wike insisted that he was only performing his duty of implementing the project, which was approved in 2024 budget. He explained that President Tinubu said that, according to him, he's quoting President Bola Tinubu saying, "Where are the judges living? They have no homes and are therefore open to political manipulation." And saying for the president is thinking he wants to guarantee the independence of the judiciary. Judges must have their homes. The president further went on saying that I'm not the president. Okay, Wike said, I'm not the president. I'm only lucky to be appointed as a minister under the administration and who is in the position to implement the policies. It was approved by the president, sent to the National Assembly in 2024 budget, and there should be construction of judges' quarters that they should move judges from where they are renting houses, living among criminals. According to him, building houses is a policy anybody should commend the president for, adding that the Federal Executive Council approved the contract. Wike insisted that there was nothing wrong, even if it was his idea to construct the homes for judges, as he had done something similar as Rivers governor. He lamented criticism for the project instead of commendations, especially from those in the legal profession. Let's take a listen to what Wike has to say this morning on the issue of construction of houses for judges in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
This is what he wants. Come up and see what we can do. It was approved by Mr. President, sent to the National Assembly in 2024 budget that there should be construction of judges and justices' quarters. Federal Executive Council of Nigeria approved it. This is what he wants. Come up and see what we can do. It was approved by Mr. President, sent to the National Assembly in 2024 budget that there should be construction of judges and justices' quarters. Federal Executive Council of Nigeria approved it.
All right, that was the Minister of the FCT there saying the Federal Executive Council approved it, and it was approved by the National Assembly to construct houses for the judiciary. But then many people have been reacting to this, saying the judiciary is an independent arm, and then it should be done through the NJC. One of those who have reacted to this is the legal luminary and human rights lawyer Femi Falana. And he's saying that this is unconstitutional. It is illegal for the executive arm of government to think they can just come up and say they want to gift judges apartments. Let's take a listen to the legal luminary here saying this is illegal, and then it's illegal. It's not constitutional for we to say the executive should be giving houses, motor cars, SUVs to the judges in the Federal Capital Territory. This is the voice of Femi Falana.
The judiciary, the executive, and the legislature, each of them today enjoys financial autonomy. In fact, there are 3 judgments of our court, of the Federal High Court, to the effect that the judiciary is financially autonomous. When President Buhari tried to also recognize the independence, financial autonomy of the judiciary via executive order 10 of 2020.
Yeah.
Governors went to court, and the Supreme Court declared it illegal. But the National Assembly and all the state houses of assembly later amended the relevant provisions of the Constitution to the effect that Section 83, the funds of the judiciary every year at the federal level shall be passed to the NJC. For the states, the budget of the judiciary, the money will be given to the heads of court. So if you want to buy cars, if you want to build houses, they are to be carried out through the budget of the judiciary. You know, yes, I just listened to the minister. He didn't answer the question, which is to the fact that, can you give houses to judges before whom you have cases? Because justice must not only be done, but must be sent to be done.
All right, that was Mr. Femi Falana there speaking, saying it is illegal. You can't just do that. That the NJC should be the one in charge, that they should have their own budget, should be part of the budget of the National Judicial Council. And then many have been reacting also, saying, why should this be done? Is it that the executive wants to buy the judiciary, or what exactly is going on? This morning I'm being joined by Professor Wale Akinyemi. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning, Tayo. Happy weekend. Happy weekend to all our listeners.
Prof, you listen to the Minister of the FCT and Mr. Femi Falana there. You could, what will you take from? What's your take from these their arguments? The WIKE is coming up on board and saying that he's defending what he is trying to do in the FCT by gifting houses and whatever it is to the judges, and saying it was approved by the Federal Executive Council, sent to the National Assembly too for approval, and then he's just acting according to the dictates of the president. What's your take on that?
It's most unfortunate that Mr. WIKE is a lawyer himself, and he should know better. And then it's also unfortunate that the Federal Executive Council should know better. After all, there have been precedents, and they know that the financial autonomy of judiciary is sacrosanct. So a situation where the executive will be gifting cars and houses to the judiciary is totally unacceptable, because it means that they want to pocket the judiciary, you know, and it's like people will see it as if they are rewarding the judiciary for a job well done. That well done is in quote and unquote. So it's a policy that should be reversed. And then that is one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is this. Even if the judges that are being gifted quarters, if they are justices or judges of the High Court, that's of the federal courts, don't we have a minister of works whose responsibility it is to build such structures?
But WIKE is the one in charge of the FCT.
Is the word? That's what I'm saying. FCT is just the Federal Capital Territory. So if WIKE is usurping the work of the Minister of Works, that's what I'm saying. It's usurping his responsibility. It should have been the responsibility of the Minister of Works or Housing to build such structures. But because these people just want political capital of virtually everything, something that they can lay upon again and say that, yes, when I was there, I was the one that did this. You saw that he said very, very quickly that he did a similar thing in the reverse. So it's not too late for them to reverse this. And there is no way they want to justify it. It's not even good for the image of the judiciary, and expect the top echelon of the judiciary to speak truth to power. That the moment they begin to do this, they are positioning the judiciary as highly compromised, heavily compromised, and it's not good for our democracy.
You know, Mr. Femi Falana came on board and he highlighted some few things and said that it is the work of the National Judicial Commission to do all of these things. But then many have argued and say, the president also argued and said that we can't allow our judges to be living in rented apartments are more criminals. And one would expect that, okay, the president melts well for the judges, for the justices, so to speak. The question, let me ask first: is it very wrong for the president to just be benevolent and say, okay, let's look for quotas, let's create a quotas for our judges so that they can live in a serene atmosphere where they can enjoy themselves in a secured apartment, and then everything will go on smoothly with them? Professor Wole Akinyemi.
Judiciary is very, very important. But are they the only people that are important in Nigeria? Medical doctors, don't they deserve to live in decent environment?
We can notice something.
Our top security officers, don't they deserve to live in very decent environment? Our top scientists, don't they deserve to live in very decent environment? We cannot be doing this kind of selective compensation of people. Why the judiciary? That is the question people will ask. Why is isolating the judiciary? As important as the judiciary is, they are not the only people that are important in the country. And I think it is most unfortunate to use that statement that judges are living among criminals. Because if judges are living in rented apartments, you can be sure that those rented apartments will be in premium sections of society. So if they are saying that they are living among criminals, then it's an indictment that our top elites in Nigeria are criminals.
Interesting one there. You know, the president, according to Wiki, said the president noted something that and said that you can't. He doesn't want to allow politicians, so to speak, to manipulate and buy the judges, because he feels if the judges don't have houses, they can also easily be bribed and then get a lot of things from politicians, and then they will change judgment and the likes like that. This is part of the reasons. This is the arguments given by the executive arm of government.
I'm not a lawyer, but if you go to any court, you will see that justices, judges, they have their chambers, they have their offices. And at times there are cases, it's not every case that they even take to the court. There are some that they even settle within those chambers, that they don't, they just resolve it. So what I'm saying in essence is that if anybody wants to compromise the judges, it may not necessarily have to go to the homes of those judges. That is the absolute truth. And for the security of the judges, majority of people don't even know the addresses of their homes. That is the truth. So, and usually when they want to buy judges, they go through lawyers. It's not just an individual that you just walk up to a judge and say that, no, we are paying so and so. So it's the people in the system know it. They know the value chain and they know how to exploit it. So that's the truth. So it's not a serious excuse, a tenable excuse. No.
Interesting one there. All right. Many will ask the question also, is it that the Federal Executive Council do not understand the legality of the law, or is it that they don't understand what the Constitution says when it comes to issues like this? Why would the Federal Executive Council approve this, according to Wiki? And he also said that it was approved by the National Assembly, a number of governments who is being bestowed with making laws and passing bills into law. And one would ask the question, is it that the National Assembly do not understand all of these things too? Why would they allow such to happen?
They know very well. I'm sure over 25% of people in our National Assembly, they have legal backgrounds. They are lawyers. Some of them have, they studied the law, so they're exposed to the judiciary. They know the right things to do. Let me tell you what happened in Lagos State. And I'm happy that our president was the former governor of Lagos State. Lagos State is the first state that did what I can call repositioning of the judiciary. And what they did was through the equivalence of NJC in Lagos State. It wasn't the Lagos State government that was building, although even courts and quarters and everything. They allocated a budget to the judiciary of Lagos State. And that budget was supervised by the judiciary and disbursed by the judiciary. I would have expected governments to replicate the same thing even at the federal level. It is the right thing to do under the circumstance. You see, okay, why is it that they don't build quarters for army generals? Why is it that they have to route their budget through the Ministry of the Defense? Why is it that, for example, they don't build quarters for directors of medical directors of teaching hospitals? Why is it that they route the budget through the Ministry of Health. We are saying they should do the right thing. It is not. It's even embarrassing to government that they are doing this specifically for the judiciary. You see, the way people see it is that they are compensating them for certain jobs done or well done, and that is not right, even for the image of government.
Interesting one. Do not forget that we are streaming live on Facebook this morning at omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Easy handle on Facebook this morning. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Easy handle on Facebook this morning. Go drop your comment there. We want to read from you this morning. What are your takes and what are your thoughts as regards some of the things we've discussed and we'll be discussing on the show this morning? Go drop your comments on our Facebook page this morning. We're talking about what exactly is going on. Is it legal for the Minister of the FCT to allocate houses to the judiciary? Many have been saying probably they want to buy the judiciary. And as a matter of fact, many have argued that the minister is a lawyer himself. So what exactly, you should know better and understand what exactly is going on. And that brings me to my next question, Prof. The minister is a lawyer. We've seen cases where politicians, so to speak, buy judgments in courts. And then we've even seen cases of contradicting judgments. And then we've seen a lot of things going on in that sector. We've been asking for the reforming of the judicial sector, so to speak. And many have been saying that sector needs to be reformed. But then coming on board again, do you think this current political class have the political will to reform the judicial sector?
They don't have the political will to do it. But it is in their enlightened interest to do the right thing. Because what they are doing right now is not sustainable. It will only erode the integrity of our judiciary. And if the judiciary is seen as the hope or the last hope of the common man, and even the man that is not common, the judiciary still is hope, the judiciary should not be treated with triviality. There shouldn't be this master-servant relationship between the executive and the judiciary. Everything that creates that impression should be removed totally. That is what we pay the government ultimately. There is something again that we need to point out here. Is it quarters they are building for these judges, or they are building homes for them? It's very, very clear. It's very, very important for us to clarify that.
It's a quota, so each
so if they are quotas, then the moment when you retire from the judiciary, you will leave those quotas.
But Professor Wole Akinyemi, you know the Nigerian system. We've seen situations where they get SUV for politicians, and eventually it becomes a permanent property.
Of course, that is what is going on. That is the kind of shenanigan that is going on in places. So they are compensating these people as individuals. That is what I'm trying to say in essence. Because if you give somebody, what is the salaries of judges that you go and give them a jeep of maybe about 200 million? If they were asked to be paying that back, will they be able to pay back even in 4 years? No, they will not. It's like the kind of illegality that the people in the National Assembly did for themselves, gifting themselves jeeps of 600 and something million. If they say they are to be paying that back, even from the humongous salaries that they are earning, will it be convenient for them to do that? Somebody has not started serving and you have already gifted almost $500 million in terms of the value of cars and all that, not to talk of other emoluments. So these are the kind of things that you cannot allow to continue in this country. There is a whole lot of profligacy. There is a whole lot of insensitivity in the way people are spending government money. It must stop, especially given our precarious financial situation right now in Nigeria.
All right, do not forget that you can join the conversation. We are live on Facebook, and you can also call the studio line 07047 007999 07047 007999. Can also call us on 08053 888933 08053 888933. Those are the studio lines to call this morning to be a part of the program. What are your takes on some of the things we've discussed today on the show? Just call us and share your thoughts and views. You can also drop your comment on Facebook this morning at Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM is the handle on Facebook. Join us and share your thoughts as regards some of the things we've discussed on the show this morning. In a nutshell, Professor Wole Akinyemi, what you are trying to insinuate is that the executive is trying to buy the judiciary, and it's dangerous for democracy.
Absolutely so. It's dangerous for democracy, especially if you give the circumstances of our last presidential election that was highly contested, even to the Supreme Court. Government shouldn't have done this because it will appear as if government is compensating judiciary for supporting them.
Some part of the opposition are trying to, they have been grumbling, and I'm asking the question, this kind of move, does it create a level playing ground, so to speak?
Where's the level playing ground? Look at the kind of shenanigans that happened in Kano Emirate, with the debacle of the two emirs on a single throne. How a judge that was not even in Nigeria made a pronouncement. No, this is the kind of irresponsible thing that is happening in the country, and we say we cannot allow this kind of thing to happen. It's a very good thing that that judicial officer was sanctioned, So this kind of impunity, culture of impunity must stop, especially the judiciary. Judiciary is supposed to be highly disciplined. It's supposed to be very, very conservative. It's not supposed to be exposed. The credibility of the judiciary should be top-notch.
And when we ask the question, the credibility of the judiciary should be top-notch. And during his statement while he was speaking, Mr. Femi Falana noted and said it's the responsibility of the NJC. And when we ask the question, what exactly is the NJC doing to check some of these judges, to check the judicial sector? Coming on board, when she came on board, the Chief Justice of the Federation, Justice Kukura Akekiriokun, highlighted some few things. She highlighted some few lacunas in the judicial sector, and she said all of these things wouldn't be tolerated during her tenure as the Chief Justice. Talking about conflicting judgments, talking about the legality of a court to decide on the matter or not. All of these things, but then we still find all of these things playing out. And then with these new developments, it seems to continue in Nigeria.
It is the judiciary that can reform the judiciary. If they are waiting for the National Assembly or they are waiting for the executive to reform the judiciary, to be an exercise in futility. Because don't forget that politicians in the legislative arm of government and in the executive arm of government, they always want law to support them. So for the judiciary to be looking for, up to them for any solution to the problems of the judiciary in Nigeria, it's not going to work. So what I'm saying in essence is that all the top judicial officers should cooperate with the Chief Justice of Nigeria to do the needful. All of these things that have been compromising this effectiveness and integrity of the judiciary should be addressed and should be reformed positively.
Interesting one there. Like I said earlier, you can join the conversation. The studio lines are open. Some calls came in, some not quite long, but then you can pick your calls now. 07047007999. 07047007999. You can also call us on 08053888933. 08053888933. We are also live on Facebook this morning at omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Omoluwabi the 7.7 FM is the Facebook, and you can go drop your comments right there on Facebook. But then, before we pick your calls at this time, we need to go pay some bills this time, and then after which we come back, read your comments, and then we'll pick your calls on the show this morning. It's on the side today, and so we'll be talking about that much better on the show this morning. So I want you to sit back and relax and enjoy, because it's still the discourse right here on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. We'll be back after this short time out.
At break time, when my champ needs to keep going, he's going to need his favorite snack, made with the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and crunchy Niger-grown maize, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
Break time is crunch time, so give your champs this delicious crunchy delight to keep them winning all day. Milo and a snack of future champions. Milo!
My brother, chase it like a sweet summer. My fellow country people,
no suppose act like this, and that's now why millions of Nigerians they pay for everything with Momo. Dial *671# or download the new mobile app. Make you follow enjoy this better life.
Oh no, these service providers. The other time my data disappeared. Last week my money was deducted when I didn't make a call. The other time...
Wait. Have you called NCC on 622?
To do what?
NCC 622 is the toll-free complaint line where phone users can lodge any complaints concerning their lines.
So, if they debit me for calls I did not make,
call 622.
If they charge me higher than normal,
call 622.
And if they...
For any issues that concerns your phone, call 622. But before you call NCC on 622, you must first call your service provider. It is only when they don't resolve your complaints, then you call 622. 622 line is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, excluding weekends and public holidays. Calling 622 is free. Take advantage of 622 to resolve your phone complaints. NCC, connecting Nigeria.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. Then you need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Then stay in power, you find it all in peak. Then every move you make, Peak's got you all the way. Yeah. And the peak goes on.
Power on every morning with a Peak protein breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Hello?
Hello there. I'm at the hospital right now because the kills are seriously ill. I've been on a long queue and the doctor is here to attend to me. I don't know what to do again.
You know what? How about the numbers I gave you while leaving?
Oh, the e-Dokita numbers?
Yes.
Call them right away. They will attend to you immediately.
Hello?
Darling, just like magic. Junior is playing. Even Princess is eating like an adult.
You know I've told you to calm down. Our family is covered with e-Dokita Premium Plan. With eDokita, you have access to healthcare at your fingertips. Stop wasting your productive hours while waiting in the clinic for doctor. Subscribe today to any of eDokita plans and enjoy online chat and call consult, laser therapy, medical outreach, and home care services. Simply dial 0704 714 2000 or 0701 000 8670. Log on to www.edokita.com or visit us at eDokita, number 2 Ocean Street, New Bodija, Ibadan. eDokita, inspiring wellness.
I will show you.
Junior, don't do that.
Sweetheart, no matter what you do, we show you love. So you can show more love to everyone.
Mom, how do you show more love to everyone? I will show you love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 Naira, while Super Pack is now 350 Naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
Fresh news, best talk, hot music, where else?
Omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
Omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
Alright, you welcome back to the discourse right here on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. And just before we went on that break, we were discussing the gifts, or if you call it gifts, gifting of houses to the judiciary, to the judges and justices in the capital territory, in the Federal Capital Territory FCT, and then we had a lot of conversations around that, and then we said you can join the conversation there. Facebook is still on live, so you can drop your comment on Facebook. You can also reach out to us on via the studio lines this morning. The studio lines are still very much open. 07047 007999, 07047 007999, and you can also call us on 0053888933. 0053888933. Those are the two lines to call to be a part of the program this morning. All right, let's move on to some other issues this morning. It's election day in Ondo State, and then like before we came into the studio, I was watching the process in Ondo State, and I could see that a lot of people have trooped out to start casting their votes, and then this it's actually commendable because the election started very early in Ondo State. It's a major part of Ondo State. The election started very early, and Nigerians are saying this is a welcome development. Unlike the time past where we'll still be waiting for electoral officers before they get to the polling units. But now, today, the election started very early, just like one of the INEC commissioners who is in Ondo State to supervise the activities of the election in Ondo State said yesterday while he was answering some newsmen in an interview session. I would love us to listen to the INEC official talking about the preparedness of INEC in today's election and how well they've been prepared and how far they've been preparing to make sure that this election becomes a success in Ondo State. So listen to Professor Kunle Ajayi. He's an INEC commissioner and is part of those supervising the election in Ondo State.
Ready for this election. We are absolutely ready for this election. Mind you, we started preparations about a year ago. Statutorily, we have to start preparation minimum 360 days to the election day. So we have started this, our preparations since about a year ago. So we have left nothing untouched in our preparations. This week marks the grand finale of our preparations. As at now, the organization was represented. We were at the Central Bank yesterday to distribute the sensitive materials, bundles, the necessary forms, then vivas. We distributed them yesterday. The organization was represented with other media organizations. All the other stakeholders were present in the distribution. They witnessed everything, and everything went well. Distribution went to the local government headquarters yesterday. All the 18 local government headquarters received their sensitive materials, including banners and papers and EC8 forms yesterday. And by today, we started moving to registration areas. As I'm talking to you, all the registration areas, 203 registration areas have received all their sensitive materials. And it's as good. If you ask us to start this evening, we are going to start, but statutorily, we are going to start by 6 a.m. tomorrow. I can assure you, all polling units will open with this. Everything will get through all the polling units by 6 a.m. I can assure you of that. All of them will open. There will be no cases of late arrival of materials to polling units. We have done our own work, and we are proud of what we have done, and we will not disappoint 100%.
All right, that was one of INEC Commissioner there, Professor Kunle Ajayi, speaking to newsmen yesterday, talking about the preparedness of INEC as regards today's election. And then one would see this morning, we always, from what's on the feeders we've been getting since the beginning of the election started as early as possible. And then as we speak now, voters are already casting their votes peacefully in Ondo State, and then in some part of the states, in the riverine states, and some part of the states, elections have started, and it's so amazing because like the time past, it's not usually like that. You have to wait for logistics and then transportation to get to that part, but then the case is different this time around, and then many are commending INEC for this. Professor Wale Akinyemi, you listen to the INEC commissioner there, and you listen to what he has to say about the preparedness of INEC, and then what would say, probably we should give INEC some credits, or should we wait till the election is over?
I want to commend INEC, and I want to commend INEC representative Professor Ajayi. He has spoken very well, and I'm sure he's proud of what his team is doing in Ondo State. We must appreciate that Ondo State is like Nigeria in microcosm. Why do I say that? There is no terrain that you have in Nigeria it's not available in Ondo State, from the riverine area to the forest region in the central, and then when you go to Akoko side, the mountainous savannah region of Ondo State. That is one thing that is peculiar with Ondo State. The other thing that is peculiar with this particular election is that the major candidates for APDP and APC, they are also from the riverine area. And I'm sure they want to ensure that their people are not disenfranchised. So if you see the kind of efficiency in terms of early arrival of sensitive material to the riverine area, I can assure you that the role of the various candidates, especially Governor Ayedatiwa and his most formidable opponent Ajayi, they have played very, very significant role in making sure and cooperating with INEC to make sure that those things are done the way it is done. Another thing that is working for the effectiveness of the election in Ondo State is because of the high literacy level of the people of Ondo State. You know, if you take the people of Ekiti State, the next people you probably take in terms of education and literacy level is the people of Ondo State. So let's give it to them. They know the right thing to do. They are aware of their rights, you know, and you cannot easily pull wool over the eyes of people of Ondo State. So I believe that it's a good thing that there is the kind of voter party that we think will result as a result of the high presence of security forces. It has not resulted in that, and that is very, very reassuring. So let Ondo people go out, let them file out, let them vote for the person and the party that they prefer, and let the election be conducted in an atmosphere of peace. I wish them good luck.
Let the election be conducted in an atmosphere of peace. But then some parties have, some opposition have been saying, urging INEC to please do the needful because we want a free and fair election. But then one will ask the question, why are some political parties afraid? It seems some political parties are just so confident, and then some ones are saying INEC should do the needful. Make sure there's a peaceful, credible election, free and fair election. Why do you think some of these political parties are coming out to it? Because it seems that's already been the narrative in Nigeria. The opposition will always come out to say, calling INEC out, saying we want a credible election, we want a free and fair election. But then it seems that the major party of the day will just sit back and relax and then go to the polls with all confidence. What do you think is happening?
I think we are most unfair on INEC and most unfair on security operatives when it comes to the issue of elections in Nigeria. The people that make election peaceful and unpeaceful are the participants, politicians. They are the people who will share rice, who will share gari, who will share money. They are the people who will pay for thugs, to go and snatch ballot boxes and do all sorts of terrible things. So these are the people really that should be held responsible. The role of the security operatives is to discourage these errant politicians for doing what they know how to do best. So I'm appealing to the political class. They are the people we should hold directly responsible for the sanctity of the election in Ondo State or any election in any part of Nigeria for that matter.
We've also seen the EFCC and ICPC. We saw them on board saying they won't accept or tolerate any form of vote buying. But then eventually, we've seen incidents where ICPC, EFCC arrest people for vote buying in elections. But eventually, we ask the question, are these people being properly prosecuted for what they have been doing? Eventually see them on the street of Nigeria back, and we're asking the question, what exactly is going on? Because we still have the issue of vote buying, although we've not recorded any case today. But Nigerians will say, we can assure you that some politicians will try to buy votes.
You are talking about the person that is collecting 5,000 naira to cook soup or collecting rice. Nobody is talking about that. The top politician who waited until the dawn of the election to the camp said, I am supporting so candidate.
I'm still going to come to that because as I said yesterday,
those are really the people that have been compromised. Do you know the kind of money that you will have paid to them to do what they are doing? So some of them, they have turned this thing to, they've made it totally transactional. Those are the people I expect our law to come after. Not even we, come after, the poor, helpless people who just need this money desperately. I'm not saying that it's right to buy votes. No, it shouldn't be done. But what I'm saying is that if politicians will insist on giving people money. Let them take the money for crying out loud, but vote to their conscience.
Interesting one. Let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Yes, I'm also from Ibadan.
All right, please make your point.
Yes, sir. I greet your brilliant analyst. More inspiration, sir.
Good morning,
First,
boss.
yes, sir. Well done, sir. Yeah. First, on this weekend's matter that vehicles and houses are being given to judges, it's so funny because imagine a minister involving himself in something like that in the nation. Now we are here in the nation clamoring hunger, food insecurity and the likes. They have not seen anything to do to it in a way of solving helping people in Abuja. After the issues, after going about demolition, causing pains and hardship on the people there. Though I still agree with the fact of on that demolition because there are some houses that are not meant to be in some places. So on that hand, I just wish that those people would be compensated because we know APC leadership for a party and leadership of inflicting pains on people. So that aside, on this election that is being held currently in Ondo State and Ogun State, just like your analyst has just said, I cannot blame people for taking or for selling or buying votes. If people offer them that they will buy their votes, they should take their money. And yet, they will not still go there to where they want to cast the vote. So they should vote their conscience. Like I've been saying, those people should vote their conscience. They should vote in leaders that are ready to change the story of Ondo State and Ogun State for the better. Those people they've really been suffering poor leadership in those states. Because if you check those states, you will see bad roads and the likes. Though it's not like your state is perfect, but yet at least we are enjoying to a very reasonable extent. And I still want to urge those people, they should vote their conscience. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being a part of the program this morning. Okay, you can join the conversation this morning, 07047 007999, 07047 007999. Can also call us on 08053888933, 08053888933. Those are the studio lines to call to be a part of the program this morning. Right, we have another caller here. Let's see. Who is here? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Oluwabi calling from Dubai.
All right, please make your point.
Yeah, this is my point. Number one, on those state elections, it started today night to end peacefully. That one is guaranteed. We are not in Nigeria. But my surprise is when we see people calling on the radio, places of government that Oyo State you are enjoying. What are we enjoying in Oyo State? All the state governors are the same thing. We care on his own, what we care is doing. The House of Assembly has the right to question him, but they're not doing that. They're not doing that. But this is the country where we find ourselves. Now, I can't imagine somebody calling and saying we are enjoying Oyo State. What are we enjoying? Some states are already paying this 70% minimum wage. As Oyo State are paying, they told them that we are not ready to face the truth. We are not ready. I appreciate the prof you brought. It's making a good explanation. I enjoy it. But the truth is that Nigeria will keep doing like this until we're ready to face back. Because we still keep praising politicians. We should praising them. We shouldn't praise them. On those sectors, might say the election will come and go. That one is normal thing. There's no time in the election. If they offer you money, collect their money, and you follow your conscience.
All right, Mr.
Thank
Toby.
you.
Thank you very much. You've made your point this morning. I regularly hear people who say, collect their money and vote your conscience. But then these politicians, most of the time when you're on the field and you see all the things that are going on during this period, you see politicians are developing techniques. They won't pay you the money until you vote, and they have a way to know who you are voting for. Prof.
That is very, very difficult. I will tell you why it is difficult, because it is secret ballot.
But then it's not secret ballot in Nigeria. We've seen instances where people are showing party agents who they are voting for.
When they want to really compromise any election, it's not on the election day they do it. They will have done this thing.
You'll have done mobilizing. As a matter of fact, when you're going to cover an election, you'll have seen some certain set of people are for party A. They come in mass.
Absolutely.
They will have mobilized their guys.
Yes, they can't be giving you rice, giving you gari and everything while you're on the queue there.
So
no.
They expect that okay, party A, we brought 100 people, so we are expecting 100 votes from you. So we probably will get additional votes. But at the end of the day, I mean, when you hear people say, collect their money and vote your conscience, is that possible in Nigeria?
They cannot manipulate or coerce you if you do not want to vote for them. That's what I believe absolutely. Because even where you have collected their money and you are voting for a different party, they cannot attack you at that point because the security operatives are there. So that is the thing. You see, what I'm saying is, ordinarily people shouldn't even have collected this money. But these people have weaponized poverty so much. And they know that this is the only time they will hear. They will hear from these people. Some of those people, the moment they have been voted, if they are voted to be in Abuja and the rest of it, you don't see their brake light again until another 4 years. It's so unfortunate. But that's the reality. That is the political reality of Nigeria.
Interesting one there. All right, let's see who is here. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Tayo.
All right, good morning.
Okay, I want to just go to this little point. Your previous caller answered my point. But the fact still remains that the government who considered subsidy is gone, and he knew the pain it will bring on the masses, and therefore he introduced this wages award, and aside from that, introduced free transportation for workers, and even subsidized the rate of transportation should be commended. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being a part of the program this morning. Let's talk about another very important issue going on with this Ondo election. Just yesterday, the judiciary, the court declared that some certain set of people can contest in the election. That's about the Labour Party. And we're asking the question at 9 minutes at the 11th hour, where election has started, electioneering process has started already. They've started distribution of sensitive materials. Polling officers are ready to start the work. And then at the 9 minutes, you have now to cut. You have the court now being the one to determine who will contest or not. And these are the part of the issues we've already been talking about. It's not just about one party. You've seen it in time past where shouldn't we have a system to check all of this? As at this time, no party is allowed to come again if you have not been properly cleared legally or constitutionally.
The judiciary, to a very large extent, is being used as a puppet by our politicians. It's the reality of the situation in Nigeria. Now, it's most unfortunate, but that's the kind of situation we have found ourselves. Look at the young man that slapped a cab driver in Abuja. If you investigate him very well, it's the judiciary that brought him to that place. His people did not vote for him. The people his people voted for, they said that one has some problem with his certificate or whatever. And that was how that guy found himself.
No, we've seen a lot of magic going on.
So when you see a whole lot of these things that are happening, a situation which the judiciary will not be the one that will now be frustrating the aspiration and hope of the people, then it is a very, very tragic situation. And that is why the judiciary is to call itself to order. Right now, they are being manipulated, and it is so unfortunate that they are so susceptible to such manipulations.
Interesting one there. On Facebook, we have Areni Yaya saying, well done. We also have Mustafa Taiwo saying, good morning, sir. Keep up the good work from Olokofefe Egbeda Tuba Road, Ibadan. Okay, thank you very much for being a part of the program. Professor Wole Akiyemi, your parting shot on the program this morning.
Nigerians have a right to continue to put commensurate pressure on our leaders. We should begin to demand for good leadership. We should begin to demand for efficiency. We should begin to demand for good government. It is our right. That is why we have voted these people. This idea of a servant-master-servant relationship with which somebody, because he has been voted to elective office, feels that he's superior to other people, it is because we don't call these people to order. I think the more we begin to do because it's our civic responsibility, the more we are alive to it, the more credible leadership we will have in the political space.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of the program this morning. We sincerely want to appreciate everyone for taking our time to listen this morning. And those who listen, those who watch us via Facebook and who engage us on Facebook, say a very big thank you to you. And those who listen via the Radio Garden, a very big thank you to you too. Next week Saturday is another time on the discourse right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Up next is Gimme Debe on omoluwabi 87.7 FM at exactly 11 o'clock. Adeyemi Ojo be coming on board to take us on into the world of sports. And then do not forget, you join me again on Monday on the program Newsland. 7 a.m. is the time on Monday. My name is Oluwatayo Ajiwole, and I'm urging you to have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the speakers and callers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Omoluwabi Radio 87.
For the best in news, talk, and music.